The Endurance E-Racing World Championship Le Mans 24 Hours is brought to you by ESR Esports Network, Elite Gaming, SimLab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Acetech, and AMD Ryzen Radio.
So, Ernest Lappins, did he have like a stop-go penalty that he had to serve?
No, there's nothing there. Meanwhile, Mark Veit comes in the pit lane for the 66 Scuderia Basilia team.
So, I'm just
I'm
looking.
confused now, yeah.
Has everyone else in the LMP2 class gone for a double stint? Oh, sorry. Has everyone in the LMP2 class gone for a normal stint? No, it would be double stint.
No, because Ernest was losing his time hand over foot.
So everyone else has gone for a double stint, whereas Ernest Lappins is going for a single stint.
No. Ernest has been double stint. Ernest double stinted last time. That's why he lost so much time.
Yeah, he double stinted last time, but in this pit stop, he did a normal stop.
So everyone else would have done normal stops as well, because he was
No, but maybe... No, what I'm saying is everyone else only didn't change their tyres.
No, everyone else will have changed their tyres.
How do you know?
Because for a start, like, they've been having normal pit stop times, otherwise Chunjik would be, if anyone else hadn't, they would actually have been...
Well, why would we explain, how do you explain then that Ernest Lappins is going a second a lap quicker than everyone else in Sector 2 and 2 seconds a lap quicker in Sector 3?
Because fresh tyres and potentially, well, not fresh, because brand new fresh tyres where everyone else...
Yeah, but everyone else pitted.
Everyone else pitted like 3 or 4 laps before.
No, they pitted on the same lap. Literally, Jesper Pedersen pitted on 1 lap, then Marcel Chinchik, Mantis Reckers, Ernest Lappins and Alessandro Apolloni all pitted the very next lap. That is what happened.
Okay, drillers are off cycle apparently, according to Henry.
Drillers are off cycle, okay. They're not.
Yes,
they
are.
pitted on the same lap.
They are off cycle.
Yeah, so literally, Henry Jury has just said to you exactly what I said, which is that they pitted for tyres and everyone else didn't pit on tyres, didn't change tyres. So everyone else is double stinting, whereas Pinsim Drillers Esports...
Pinsim didn't take tyres last stop.
Yes, they double stinted last time, now they're not, they put tyres on. So they pitted normally, they're doing a single stop, everyone else is double stopping because they didn't take tyres.
My brain's too screwed. I'm just like for scratch right now.
I'm getting really confused by this now because I'm like, it's the only way possible that this is happening because Ernest Lappins is a lapping fast and he is a gaining time of 4:45 out lap for the number 17. Well, let's see if he can close in onto Mantis Records. You would have to assume so. Jesper Pedersen is doing a decent job closing in onto Marcel Chinchek, who definitely pitted 1 lap after Jesper Pedersen.
Right, here we go. Okay, so according to Henry, Drillers and a few others tripled their first stint. So they've just taken tyres now. This is their first time taking tyres. That explains that then, right.
So it's not double stinting.
So both of us are technically wrong, but you're more right than me.
Yes. How dare you call me wrong, but yes.
Well, we are.
I was right in the aspect that they took tyres and everyone else didn't.
You said they were double stinting, which is wrong. Because they should have said it.
No, that's because the last time you said it was a double stint, right? It's all because of you from the beginning.
Anyway.
You were meant to destroy them, Ernest, not join the triple stint. Well, I want to explain the pace difference as well in the last.
Yes.
I mean, we knew it was tyre difference, but we just didn't know exactly what was happening. So it's a triple stinting that is occurring in the LMP2 class, not a double stint. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the front of the hypercar class, 23 seconds between Ibrahim Khan and Henry Sinnick, and I think we're expecting them to come into the pits in...
any time within the next hour, probably.
Who knows? Who knows with GT cars, right? But... Henry Sinnick is making his tyres and his fuel last about a lap longer than Henry Sinnick, or at least that was the case after the first stint.
The Mark Veit has also just jumped Bobby Trunley in this latest set of stops.
Not again.
Well, yeah, but this time Mark Veit was actually on circuit, so nothing's happened there.
Okay, we're seeing Morten Argesen coming into the pits. He's currently last in the hypercar class. No other battles going on. Has Daniele Primavera served his drive-through penalty, actually?
GT3
He has, yes.
He's only dropped back one place because he's dropped back behind the 45 DIS SR lap car.
Have DIS and Daniele Primavera made their stop, though? Because I can't believe that they're actually within 15 seconds of Borja Milan.
I'm not too sure. I'd have to check.
Because if they haven't pitted, then Borja Milan has a much bigger gap than I had thought, because I thought it would be at about 30-something seconds. So, well, either way, I'm pretty sure Daniele Primavera and DIS are on the same strategy right now. And let's see if Daniele can close that gap to DIS. A drive-through penalty here at Le Mans would probably equate to something like 20 or so seconds. So it is in the right kind of area, the gap between DIS and Daniele Primavera of Musto. And what else is happening? DGTL are a few seconds behind Michael Sedlacek in the number 74 car, which is Deuces Motorsport Club. So Deuces Motorsport Club now battling with DGTL Pierre B cars a few seconds behind, so we might be getting a three-way battle for P4 in the GTE class.
Yes. So I'm just trying to look at
this might be the perfect time to remind our viewers to get involved with hashtag GTR24H. Let us know how you're watching the race.
Even if it includes, joking about my brain failing for about 5 minutes.
Or trying to work out, what tires people are on. I mean, don't worry, guys. Soon, I'm now saying if the rain comes down. If the rain comes down, then, well, we'll probably be trying to figure out if people are on dry tires or wet tires and not having a clue. So, yeah.
Just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, just looking up and down the order and...
Ibrahim Hon into the pits.
Ooh. That'll explain why Henry Cynic is in the lead of the race now. Ibrahim Khan has just left his pit box. So...
Is he actually an entire pit stop ahead of Viaductin right now? Okay, no.
Viaductin have just gone by, but he's an entire pit stop ahead of Mark Veit.
Yes.
Who I think just ended up scraping the barrier coming through the Porsche curves.
Easily done, I think. Easily done. But either way, I mean, Ibrahim Khan is practically...
he's almost... Actually, to be fair, he is almost...
It's only 4 seconds between them right now.
Yeah, he is almost a pit stop ahead of Viaductin. That is how fast the top two are.
Yeah, it's 100-second pit stop time, it seems. So 1.5 minutes, give or take. Well, no, it's probably, actually. Yeah, about 100 seconds. So when Viaductin pit, they will be coming out behind Bobby Trundle by a fair amount. Keeping an eye on Daniele Primavera. He just set his... he just put in his new personal best final sector, lapping pretty much identically to DIS SR Lab up ahead. And Borja Milan just went purple, 3:54.2, which is 2 seconds quicker than Daniele Primavera and DIS SR Lab.
Oh boy.
How are they doing that?
Well, regardless of how they're doing that, we do currently have a fight on our hands between Ibrahim Khan and the Team Viaductin car. They're coming down towards the second Mulsanne chicane now, and it'll be up on your screen. Do you think Viaductin are going to fight this one that hard?
I mean, I don't see why they would. But let's see. Out the Mulsanne chicane. And that's
you see Hebra actually twitching as he goes to the inside. They will go 3 wide with one of the GT cars. Very, very close indeed. Unnecessarily close, I think, but Hebra will get the move done in pretty quick fashion.
So regarding Borja Milan, do you remember that little hack cheat thing that got discovered like a day before the Le Mans weekend?
I wouldn't say discovered, I'd say it was patched out.
Yeah. Are we sure that happened for Borja Milan?
No, it was confirmed that the patch was fixed, like the exploit was fixed, thanks to the members at Studio 397. They managed to get that fixed. So, thankfully, everything is working as intended. Just having a look up and down the order. I don't know which of my relatives to trust on this thing anymore now that they've been showing up different numbers for the entirety of the day.
I mean, I don't know if yours are wrong or mine are wrong, to be honest. I mean, this happened last time as well for a little bit where the two gaps were different, and myself and I think it was Christian at the time, we were like, wait, this does not make sense.
One thing that isn't wrong, though, is that there is a fight in GT3, and that is the DSS Nightmare car trying to have a look, not the DSS Nightmare, sorry, the 777 Nightmare car trying to have a look down the inside.
It is the DSR Nightmare car.
I said DSS, that's why.
Oh, DSS.
Which is a different thing. A DSR Nightmare car trying to have a look at the back of the Dutchman of Alexander van der Velde. Goes to the inside of the 404 Aston Martin. And that Corvette is going to have the legs on the Aston. Goes through well before Indianapolis, but wouldn't be surprised if the Dutchman tries to have a fight back. They've got a couple of LMP2 cars. That, I believe, is... I'm actually not too sure which LMP2s that is. I think that's the Pro... No, it's not. That is the guy. I know it's one of the LMP2.
Well, I mean, there was just a move that happened between the two of them, so...
That is the Drive Game Seat car, so that'll be Alessandro. Oh wait, I think that's the 199. So that is a car being lapped. That's the ID Sport LMP2 being lapped by the 33 car, because you can see Peter Schulze not far in the background. So actually, I think that gap's coming down as well, potentially.
I think it definitely is coming down.
That'll they're matching each other, and it is just very, very close in general.
Yeah, and Van der Velde is 1 second behind the Nightmare car right now, as that's an LMP2 car that sweeps past through the Dunlop curves. So we've got a bit of a chill moment. There aren't really any battles happening. Henry Sinnick still yet to pit, so he's really making those tyres last, or well, that fuel last 1 lap later than Ibrahim Khan after the first stint, and after 2 stints it might be 2 laps later, maybe even 3 laps later.
It'll be interesting to see indeed, because of course these guys really pushing now. Apolloni just coming through the Dunlop chicane, just got past a similar race LMP2. Pettis also only now just coming through, so still a fair gap between the two.
Ibrahim Khan is going purple. He's just gone 1.5 seconds quicker than Henry Sinnick in that opening sector. This might be a 321.
Wouldn't surprise me. Meanwhile, Mark Voigt is only 1.2 ahead of Bobby Trumley. So Bobby Trumley is closing. Has anyone got the Jaws theme music on hand at all in production? Because I think it could be quite fitting at this point.
I can try to recreate it if you want.
Here we go. Meanwhile,
Ferry Stanley has just retired from the race.
Oh, that is bad for the HM Engineering team. Wonder what has happened to those guys. Potentially a disconnect. It may be indeed, but of course, these guys are now trying to see what is going on here. Meanwhile, Bobby Trunley is not that far away from catching that Mark Voigt. We're riding on board.
Not again.
We're riding on board with the E-Team Brit car.
How does he keep on ending up coming out behind Mark Voigt?
I don't know, because he always gets past and then comes out behind him.
Yeah. Maybe it's the whole tyre thing. Maybe they're just constantly putting tyres and Mark Voigt isn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
screwed him.
Also, Henry Sinnick didn't pit. That means he's going 3 laps longer than Ibrahim Khan now. Who?
The thing is, the later that Henry goes, it's going to only get later and later because he keeps extending his field.
Exactly.
So all he's doing is they are playing the strategy game at Pinsim Drillers Esports. Apparently, also, Ferry Stanley had connection issues in the EC, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see if he had one here. Obviously, they can rejoin, but they will lose laps.
Yeah, and I believe there's a 3-lap penalty. If you do disconnect, you have to wait for 3 laps before you can go out. Actually, that was the case at Matsusaka. Here at Le Mans with a 3-minute lap time, it might just be 1 lap. I'm not sure.
It'll be interesting. You lose the laps anyway. You lose the lap you were doing anyway because you don't get cars coming across the line. And then to have to serve even more, I don't know. I don't find that particularly fair.
Is what happened at Matsusaka.
Yeah. I mean, if you disconnect yourself because of an engine issue, but I think an internet connection issue, you know, it shouldn't be something penalised because you're going to lose time from it anyway.
Yeah, I think the issue more was the fact that you can't determine, like, you can't organically just determine, okay, yeah, it was just a normal disconnect.
Yes, you can.
Can you?
Well, you can. If they're on track driving and they suddenly go off into a barrier and disconnect, then you know it was probably a disconnect from internet.
Yeah, but I mean, someone could just go up to their router and turn it off.
Oh, we our loving assistant here from Race Control, you're not on camera, don't worry, has just passed me a piece of paper. Blown engine for the 959. You may take your pad and back. Thank you very much. Our loving Race Control member, Hella, just coming over to me laughing as she walked back to the desk. We love you as well, Lars. Don't worry.
So 321.2 just got set by Ibrahim Khan, a new fast lap of the race. 2.5 seconds than Henry Sinek, who is still out at the moment, and we would expect to pit this lap.
I'd also like to bring a case in point. Bobby Trunley is about to go past Mark Veit potentially. They are now right on the back of each other. They've just got past the Burst Edge Esports car, which is currently in the lead of LMP2 by a very, very long way indeed. Oh, sorry, in second place. So I apologise. I keep forgetting that Marcel Chinchik is still leading this race in LMP2. But already a blown engine, and we are 2 hours and 50, almost 2 hours and 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
How do you do that without quad downshifting?
I call it vroom, 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 vroom.
I call it someone's had a hardware failure or has shifted into neutral under braking.
Wait, neutral wouldn't do it, is if you...
Yes, because if you go neutral and then shift straight up, because you go, oh god, I'm in neutral, shift up, bang, engine blown. Yes, that's it, the money shift. Our production manager comes over the screen to tell us. Meanwhile, again, the fight for third, Mark Veit and Bobby Trunley, E-Team Brit versus Scuderia Basilia. These two very, very closely. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bobby Trunley try and make a move coming towards Indianapolis. They've got an LMP2 and a GT car as traffic ahead. And that LMP2 is Marcel Chinchik. That gap is 5.4 seconds right now.
Yeah, and Jesper Pedersen's doing a fantastic job of closing that gap. But can I also just mention, Henry Sinek has stayed out for another lap. He's going 4 laps longer after 2 stints, but the battle's going on.
Well, I'd love to talk about it, but I can just see Bobby Trunley on the outside. This is his favourite overtaking spot, it seems, for the Brit as he goes around the outside of Indianapolis on Mark Veit. Well, I think, note to self, ever racing Bobby Trunley at Le Mans in the hypercar, don't let him have the outside of Indianapolis.
I think he'll just be more than happy to pass you down the inside of it.
Probably will be.
Oh, Ernest Lappins is right on the back of... yes. Oh, no, he's just got past Mantis Records, pardon me. We just missed that. But either way, Ernest Lappins, he's lapping up pretty quick. Sorry, that's never going to end. I'm just saying that now.
It is indeed. We're now seeing that rookie Monsters car chasing down the back. They've got Borja Milan in the leading GT3 Wanaco car, the Taco team, having a pretty chill race, 30 seconds in front.
Did something happen to Mark Veit because he's already 4 seconds behind Bobby Trunley?
Probably got stuck in traffic as I see a GT Aston Martin, so maybe we can get a replay up on screen from our loving director, as he'll probably put it up on screen and we'll then see what happened. Meanwhile, for 999 and Daniele Primavera, well, they're about 1.5 seconds away from each other again, Yousuf, so let's get the riot shield down in case we see a repeat of last time.
Yeah, maybe. And is Henry Sinek going to pit this lap? Because if he doesn't, that means he's gone, what, 4 laps longer? Or is it 5 laps now? I want to say 5 laps longer than Ibrahim Khan on this last stint. So, well, I mean, over the entire race, which is 4 laps.
What are drillers doing?
I mean, they're not using up as much fuel.
But they are. They're running faster lap times.
On that last lap, yeah, so I guess they're using up all of their fuel on this lap and they are going to bring it into the pits. So I think the question is, Ibrahim Khan didn't put in a good lap because he did a 3:25.5 when his last lap was a 3:21.1, so he lost 4 seconds on that last lap. So I think it's more of a car 47 Seawolf Net Race Motorsport not having the best of laps, maybe traffic coming into play.
Well, we will find out in not too long from now because Henry Sinek is coming through the Porsche curves. Meanwhile, on your screen, you still see Mantis Rakers chasing down Ernest Lappins for what is P3 in LMP2.
I'm just trying.
And Henry Sinek's in. Sinek is in.
Okay, so the gap coming out, I expect to be about 15 seconds actually. So I think Henry Sinnick might gain about 5 seconds on that stint to Ibrahim Khan. And well, right now for the number 10 car, Bin-Suhayl Esports, the second stint seems to have worked really well. They've gained at least 3 laps over Ibrahim Khan. And well, they're going to be in a fantastic position with, I would presume, fresh tyres. Although they might be finding themselves with a much higher fuel load than Ibrahim.
Oh, there's also a 3-way fight for 32nd overall. It's between Bradley Sellers and Daniele Primavera, and also John Munro. Now, would you like to tell me one thing that's unusual about this fight?
Daniele Primavera is there.
No, the third car in this train is a GTE for position. And that's the Simply Race car. Meanwhile, Daniele Primavera, let's see if it works this time out. Ding ding, round 2. And this time it seems he gets by without contact. No need for a penalty this time around. He gets through, shows that it was a small little error last time out. But what's interesting is the fact that that BMW, that is the 15 Simply Race car. Why is that car behind the GT3s?
Because Daniele Primavera and Bradley Sellers are fast.
Yeah, but it's also, but this is the thing as well. That car, John Munro, is also, I believe, laps down to Greco at this point.
Yeah, but then you could say the same thing for Van der Voorde.
Yeah, but Van der Voorde is in a GT3
Oh, sorry, not Van der
car.
Voorde. I meant Jean-Paul Van Earl.
Yeah, but Jean-Paul Van Earl, I believe, had a disconnect early on.
Ah, okay. GT3 go fast. I mean, we talked about it in qualifying. You know, some GT3 cars were actually quicker than the GTE cars. So,
yeah, but this is surprising that you've got the second place car in the championship behind GT3 cars on track legitimately and isn't actually closing in on them.
But you have to remember as well, we've had less entries through the previous parts of the championship. Like, even if you look to the likes of the LMP2 class, you know, look at where ID SimSport, who are second in the championship, are, you know, the car 199, if we look, it's third last. It's in P12 or P13, I guess is the better way to say it, and that's after Ferris Stanley had that disconnect. So otherwise they'd be 14th. So it's, anything can happen, to be honest. So it's not the most surprising thing that has ever existed, I feel.
Okay, also just seeing Bradley Sellers also having to get out of the way of the hypercar.
Oh, that's a lock
that's
up.
one of the hypercars locking up actually down the inside of the Mosto Mercedes, meaning that Mercedes has to now get very much caught by the McLaren again, and that BMW still is struggling to close in on the McLaren.
So, update in the hypercar class as well before we watch John Munro make a move for position, but not for position at the same time. Ibrahim Khan is now 27 seconds up the road on a Burst Edge Esports. So he gained 7 seconds in that last stint. It is now Martin Hemmingsen at the wheel of the number 10 car.
Yep, and Munro's trying to have a look down the inside of the McLaren at the Porsche cars, which is not a place you really want to have a look down the inside of a GT car, especially if you're in a GT car. But I think Munro would probably be a bit smart to sitting back, not really trying to do anything. I mean, these guys have got to go through, but here we go. Munro will look to the side as the McLaren will come into the pit lane, probably wisely.
Yeah, there's no point, you know, overly battling. I think Team Rookie Monsters will just be a bit sensible over that one. No need to battle, simply race. But yeah, there we go. Because obviously Team Rookie Monsters, they're second in the GT2 Championship. Simply Race is second in the GTE Championship. Neither of them want to overly battle and risk anything disastrous happening. But on that note, we're 3 minutes away from our break. I was going to throw potentially a little bit early there. I always forget that we didn't start on the hour due to having some server issues. So, I just want to take a look. Martin Hemmingsen, what kind of sector times is he doing? He's slower than Ibrahim Khan, so he's still losing time. Is the number 10 car, and Bobby Trunley might be slowly starting to claw that 42-second gap down.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what can be done. But of course, Bobby Trunley 6 seconds ahead of Mark Veit at the moment, so Mark Veit has really dropped off the back of that E-Team Brit car.
I want to take a look at Jesper Pedersen actually, because Jesper Pedersen is 9 seconds behind Marcel Ginczek, so he had brought it down to about 5 seconds. It's now increased, and Ernest Lappins is going about a lap quicker than Jesper and Marcel, so it's not enough, but he might get that gap down to about 15 seconds by the time that the LMP2 cars are back in the pits.
Yeah, indeed. It will be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, so Jesper Pedersen, he dropped over a second in that middle sector, so he must have come across some traffic, you would have to presume. Do you smell that, Alex? Do you smell that?
Yeah, it smells very nice.
It smells like gravy, like a roast.
It smells like our colleagues are trying to make us jealous by the fact that we're still here for another hour and a half until we can actually eat food whilst they're cooking themselves food. That's why it's Niels' pizza is what we're smelling at the moment.
Oh, it smells good. See, and we're tied down by
I may
these
have an hour and a
cables.
half still sat on this desk, good sir, but when we go to a break, I can walk over there.
Alex is not scared of taking off his shirt and getting over there. And just in case you're wondering why I'm saying Alex needs to take off his shirt,
We are mic'd up, and we mic so that when you see us actually in the studio, you do not see all of the wires and the cables that come from our heads. There you go. That come from the cables. You only see the wires here. It's so that it goes down our shirt. We both have shirts on underneath, so don't worry. But we do it.
I mean, like there's not necessarily, like, no one can see anything under it, so it's not.
But of course, we have just wires going down here that connect to our amazing technical system that we have here at the GTR 24, all run by our amazing studio director, Peter, who is somewhere in the background, who is probably, he's waving at us.
He's waving at us.
As always. He's the one bringing this all to you here from the studio here in Denmark.
Indeed. Right. Okay, on that note, I think it is time to go to a quick old ad break.
Yeah.
Mainly because things have settled down, so guys.
Afford a bit of an ad break.
Yeah.
So take a bit of time to chill, grab yourself some drinks, some refreshments and everything else, and we will see you in a few minutes' time.
The Endurance E-Racing World Championship Le Mans 24 Hours is brought to you by ESR Esports Network, Fleet Gaming, SimLab, Husingfeld, Simplexity, Acetip, and AMD Ryzen Radio.
Do you like games? Do you like esports? Do you hate watching laggy streams of tournaments on 13-inch screens?
Oh my god!
Of course you do. But you don't have to worry about that anymore.
He has a jump, son!
Simplexity is a Danish designer and manufacturer of high-grade sim racing platforms. Their 3 different levels of platforms come in a variety of colors and configurations. Choose from the V4, built from 40 by 40mm extruded aluminum profiles, the V8 built from 80 by 40mm profiles, and the high-tier V12 built from 160 by 40mm extruded aluminum profiles. Prices range from 470 to 750 euros. Go to facebook.com/simplexity.eu and start a messenger chat to inquire more about the options for colors and customization.
here for round 4, the final round of the season at Le Mans. And we are 3.5 hours into the race. That took me a while. It literally says on my screen, wait, hang on. It's been 2.5 hours. My maths is bad. It seems that Alex's lack of math skills is contagious. I can say that because Alex isn't back yet. Now, Alessandro Apolloni is closing in onto Peter Schultz because they're both in the pits. That's why they're close. Come on, Yousuf. You're better than that. Matteo De Croo is in the pits as well. We'll see when they do get released, which shouldn't be in too long. So, that means that we should be seeing the likes of Marcel Chinchek and Ernest Lappins are diving into the pits as well. Who else has it pitted? Where is the number 5? Jerne Simonchek is out. So, the Burst Edge Esports car has made their stop. And, well, we'll see when Marcel Chinchek pits. The gap between them was about, I think it was about 9 seconds when I last looked. So Marcel Chinchek will presumably pit this lap, as will Ernest Lappins and Mantis Rekkers, as they have been pitting on the same lap most of the time. But of course, new tyres may be going on to some of the cars, as the number 17 of Ernest Lappins is slightly out of sync with everyone. I'm also just trying to have a look as to how everything will result in terms of the championship, because Team Rookie Monsters are currently doing a good job, and I think they win the championship because they are very far ahead of ID Sim Sports, and One Movie Sports are not that far ahead, to be honest. So, as things stand, ID Sim Sport win the LMP2 class. In the hypercar class, Viaduct and of course win, and then it will be followed by the number 47 of Seawolf Net Race Motorsport, and then Pin Sims Drillers Esports. That took me a while. Wow. In the GTE class, we've got Musto GD looking to win the series, followed by Simply Race, and then it will be your GTE class. Well, the man who is second place in the GTE class, which is the number 65 of Satellite Racing. Jose Berengoa has made his stop, having taken over from Jimmy Nisela. And we're still waiting for Musto to make their stop. David Greco still yet to pit. And in the GT3 class, it will be DISSR Lab who take the championship win ahead of Team Rookie Monsters. And then it will be Musto. Well, actually, no, it'll be the number 77 of Borja Milan. The one ACCA car followed by Musto, most likely, as they're going to be getting a lot of points. B32 Racing, that is the number 32, are quite far down the order at the moment, as are the likes of DSR Nightmare. Actually, Nightmare are doing a good job. DSR Nightmare will probably take third in the championship as things are going, as they're showing a very strong performance at the moment. Okay, Mantis Rekkers, Marcel Chinchek and Ernest Lappins are into the pit. Jerne Simonchek is out, of course, having taken over from Casper Henningsen. And this is going to be the bit where I realise it's not actually Casper Henningsen. Jesper Pedersen, pardon me. I always get confused between those two because they are teammates in the Sprint Series, if I recall correctly. Ernest Lappins has just gone purple in Sector 2 on his in-lap. Now, where do they all come out? So, Ernest Lappins is now leading. Daniel Wisner is out in the 117 Varga Sim Racing, 8 seconds ahead of Jerne Simonchek. So, Ernest Lappins hasn't had to change tyres. Everyone else has, seems to be what I can gather from this. Mantis Rek is coming out 20 seconds behind Jerne. So, Ernest on slightly more worn tyres. I honestly think Henry Drury was wrong with informing us that people were triple stopping, because it looks like they are just double stinting, not triple stinting. Judging by the fact that everyone in the LMP2 class has now changed tyres, whereas Ernest hasn't, and that means that this has been his second stint with one set of tyres. So, yeah, thanks Henry for sending us the wrong info. I'm sure he's going to call me out for that one now. Are there any battles going on? Now, I have a feeling that Alex has betrayed me, right? Because we said that we may have to grab food, but I think he's backstabbed me for a second and gone to grab some himself. Van der Voorde at the moment is the man on the screen, and he is at 1.3 seconds behind DIS SR Lab, and he is lapping over a second a lap quicker. So Van der Voorde for Glam Racing showing a decent performance at the moment in P5. And I have a feeling that DIS are on a full tank of fuel, whereas Van der Voorde still might have to pit. And the same, I think, is true for Nightmare and Daniela Primavera. Ooh, Roy de Monk is closing in on the Pro Sim car, and this is a battle for position as well. Roy de Monk will just make the move nice and easily at the start of the Mulsanne Straight, and will sweep past the Pro Sim car. I mean, they're still side by side, but Roy de Monk should have this one pretty much done and dusted. The Pro Sim car will slot in behind, but Roy de Monk has it all done. Up into P7 goes Roy de Monk. And now he can try to close in onto Marcus Lanzi in the 33 Drive Game CRT. Also got Tom Capusta closing in onto Jose Berengoa. And Jose Berengoa and Tom Capusta are now 36 seconds behind David Greco. David Greco only recently got ahead of Tom Capusta, but of course there was a recent pit stop from Satellite Racing. Jimmy Nisler dived into the pits, so I'm surprised that David Greco has pulled such a lead, because if David Greco pits, he's going to come out a fair bit behind, so that's somewhat surprising to me that David Greco either isn't far ahead of Tom Capusta or is way too far ahead, and I'm not sure what the current state is with those two in terms of their pit stops. Ibrahim Khan currently 32.5 seconds ahead of Martin Hemmingsen, who has just set his personal best lap of the race and closed in 1 second to Ibrahim. So we'll have to see how that gap does develop over the next few laps. Roy de Monk now got himself a nice 2-second lead over Prost, and we saw that overtake for position not too long ago. Verstappen still DNF. Is he actually out? No, he's not. He's still in the pits, still waiting to have everything sorted so he can return to the field. Big shame for him. Engine blowout for the 959 car. Martin Hemmingsen has actually brought the gap to Ibrahim Khan down to 31 seconds. He just pulled... Oh wait, no, never mind. Actually, he just lost time. His new lap just came in. I thought it was a 3:22, but it just got updated to a 8:24. And Alex, you have returned.
I have now, yes. Sorry, I took a while. I've not been feeling too well recently, so had to take a bit of time to sort myself out, just make sure everything was all good so I could come back and join you. And of course, overtake we did see between the Glam car, which was Alexander Van der Voorde. He was overtaken by the DIS SR lap number 45 a while ago. And of course, something I've just noticed, Mantis Trachis, purple first sector.
Oh, go on, Mantis. Yeah, 3/10 quicker than anyone else in the LMP2 class. The second quickest, or actually, never mind, Luca Di Meglio is the second quickest with the 32.397, exactly 2/10 slower. And Ernest Lappins is 3/10 off the pace. But Ernest is going pretty well. And I was saying while you were gone, Alex, I think Henry might have lied to us, because it definitely looks to me like everyone is double stinting, not triple stinting in the LMP2 class. I mean, Henry is racing in the team, so he should know, but the last stint has been a double stint, so I am very confused. Maybe Henry doesn't know. Maybe he thinks that they're going to triple stint and they're double stint. I don't know. But
who knows?
Because Ernest Lappins is now ahead of everyone after the pit stop, so that means that everyone, switched tires. So they only did 2 stints on those tires, not 3, which is what's really confusing me.
Oh, repeat the question, says Henry. Okay, we'll repeat the question for you. Are you lying?
Well, that's one way to repeat the question.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But now we're going to see the about what. So Henry, essentially our question is, Ernest Lappins has just pitted, so has everyone else, but Ernest is now ahead, which means that everyone is double stinting because the likes of Jone Simonchija, Daniel Wisner, they've all done now. This is their they've just switched tyres, so they have done 2 stints on 1 set of tyres. However, Mantis Rekus, maybe he definitely has some fresh tyres.
Okay. Ernest is tripling, the rest are doubling.
Oh. Very spicy. Okay, so that would explain things.
Kudos to a member who I won't name, because I'm assuming they don't want to be named.
Okay. We'll call them the Angel of Strategies.
I wouldn't call them an angel of strategy, let's be honest.
Why can't people write this stuff and then use hashtag GTR24H?
No idea.
Right.
Right, come on guys, get involved.
Yeah.
Hashtag GDR24H. Please no name arena.
So, I'm just trying to see if anyone really closing in right now. 34 seconds between the leaders in the hypercar class. I thought it'd be close, but Ibrahim Khan is absolutely flying. Although we do know that the number 10 car of Pinsim's Drillers Esports are going longer, and they will find themselves with a pit stop advantage. But that pit stop takes about 75 to 80 seconds. So Ibrahim Khan and the number 47 of Seawolf Net Race Motorsport have pretty much got half of that gap done already.
Interesting, and one thing that is also interesting is the gap between 2nd and 3rd in GTE. It's currently 1.3 between Jose Berenguer, in the 51, and the 65 of Tom Kapusta. And those two, you can notice, are actually in the same shot. They're just coming past the 404 Glam Racing car of Alexander van der Velde. And they will be making their way down towards Indianapolis. It'll be a case of who gets past who first.
Something else I noticed interestingly is that David Greco is 37 seconds ahead. He only recently passed the 65 car.
Yes, David Greco seems to have really put his foot down.
Yeah, but 37 seconds over what's been what?
Then again, maybe Jose made a mistake.
Yeah, maybe there was a mistake because otherwise we wouldn't have expected Jose Berenguer to be ahead of the 65 car.
So, we were talking about tyre strategies.
Yeah.
I think I can happily bring this up because I think they're not doing this anymore. But I got a message from one of the LMP2 teams, from the Satellite guys. We quad stinted the tyres in LMP2, and then the second line of this message, it was a mistake.
Okay, right.
Oh, I feel sorry for Satellite.
You just gave away the information that the quad stint doesn't work to compare.
I think most people have figured this out by now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, for the mistake that they made, that Satellite had made, they are not doing badly at all, actually.
I mean, they are 3rd last.
Yeah, but they're still not doing badly.
No, true. I mean, how bad was this quad stint strategy going to be?
I mean, you do 4 stints on tyres, which is what I meant, was about 3 hours on the same set of tyres. That's basically a triple stint of GT tyres.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Oh, that's gotta feel horrible. I feel sorry for whoever had to do that quad stint. Yikes!
Well, maybe. Well, it definitely didn't work out perfectly.
No, we've realised that.
Musto, though, at the moment seem to be dominating the GT3 class in that Mercedes. As we get closer to the 3-hour mark of the race, which means that we are almost 1/6 of the way through. Isn't that spicy?
A 6th? That'd be 4 hours in. not 3.
An 8. That's what I said.
And I'm usually the one that's bad at maths.
This is an 18-hour race, right?
Yeah, no, this is...
So much for being the maths whiz kid.
I was going to say, so much being the one that's able to do maths on stream. Like, you've now screwed both of us over.
Yeah, well, I like to think it adds entertainment, you know, like, are we right? Are we not right? Let us know. Hashtag GTR24H. Or in my case, hashtag GTR18H.
I guarantee if you want to use the 24H, they'll use the 18H hashtag.
I'm just going to annoy people into using the hashtag. So I think it's only been E-Team Brit and Team Rookie Monsters that have really been using it so far. And that makes me sad, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, I know. Well, something else that makes me sad is not having a lot of battles out on circuit at the moment. It is still a 33-second gap in the hypercar class, as it's about 0.5 a second that Ibrahim Khan is pulling over Martin Hemmingson if the last lap is anything to go by. And in the LMP2 class, actually, the number 117 is closing in onto the number 17, and Yerney Simonchek is closing in onto the 117.
I was sort of alluding to say that because I know what Yerney's like, and I don't want to say something and Yerney then go, nah, I don't feel like closing in on the 117 anymore, making me look completely stupid because I know exactly what Yerney's like. But no, Yerney Simonchek currently setting some brilliant lap times. That last time by was 0.2 quicker, and of course he is now down to 5.5 seconds between, 4 seconds between him and Wisner. It's 5.2 between Wisner and Ernest Lappin. So Mantas Rakers was actually about 1.3.
He is pushing his Mantis Wreckers. I think he's on fresh tyres.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, everyone is because they did the double stint, didn't they? So, the interesting... Well, Ernest Lappins will be switching tyres, I assume, at the end of this stint.
Joey Vrolik in the chat, the owner of the Drillers, will see. We've decided not to do any pit stops anymore. I mean, fair play if you can make it work.
I mean... I'd say yeah, sure for tyres, but for fuel that might be an issue. So I know you're not allowed to push another car. What about towing another car on the track?
I mean, that counts. It's the same thing.
But you're not pushing them.
Oh, God, don't you start bringing loopholes. Don't you start trying to exploit loopholes in the roads.
I can just see some team trying to figure out a way to add like a towing system. Yeah, tow rope. Just a lasso the other car. Like, right, along with me, you come.
Also, I was a little birdie told me that we're close to a decision on the E-Team Brit decision. I'm trying to make it as obvious as possible and as loud as possible to the people that I can see working away on the computers to try and see if we can get a decision through.
Alex not trying hard to make friends with...
So we've already had a good laugh behind the scenes. It's perfectly good fun here. Just trying to see if we can get the decision through, especially on that, because that could change some things.
It could change some things. How's Daniela Primavera? Oh, Daniela Primavera is leading the GT3 class after the drive-through penalty. And even when he does he's 9 seconds ahead of Borja Milan and 29 or 30 minutes ahead of PIS.
Borja Milan has just come out of the pits.
Yes.
Yeah, 4-minute lap time. Yes, he's definitely.
Okay, it's fair. Yeah, okay, yeah. Borja Milan just does he have a GTE car?
I mean, when he's got an LMP behind him, yes.
But he doesn't, and, well, the 77 car of Juan Acco is just exceptionally fast. We've seen Borja Milan absolutely pop off, but we haven't really seen the same from the others. We saw Nico Barkley put in a few quality laps, but it was the same as Musto, really. Oh,
that is big! That is big! That is the race leader! That is the Musto Racing GT car that is off the circuit and may be out of this race. That is, they've lost their front
I'm
left
just
wheel.
looking at the
They can get that back
replay
to
now.
this. And that isn't the second Mulsanne chicane. What has gone on? And that is a big crash.
They
for
just
the
lost the
Musto
back
team.
end over the curb on the exit of the Mulsanne chicane.
This is very, very big here because this I was about to say this had style implications. It's the wrong class of car, but it is very big because this was your second place car in GT3. That's going to promote the DIS SR Lab car to third. That is them going through there at the front of your camera picture, and that will also that will promote Alexander van der Velde in the 404 Glam Racing car to the podium.
Yeah, and this does have championship implications because if Mustang were able to get second, they pretty much would have got fourth in the championship, not third because, well, because Borja Milan and the 77
Currently leading
exist.
this race.
Yeah, and at the moment, if they win, you know, they will be probably getting third in the championship with that win. But yeah, it's a big shame for Musto. This does help the likes of B32 Racing out because
they can't get around the Mulsanne hairpin, it seems.
you just
either.
can't turn right if you're missing a left wheel.
Yeah, they managed to keep that car going though, and it's always great to see that these guys want to actually get back in this race. You know, a lot of teams I've seen elsewhere seem to decide, oh yeah, now
Watch
we're
out,
done.
teams, watch out for a slow-going car in Sector 3. Slow-going car
That's
in
just race
Sector 3.
direction, informing everyone that, you know, Daniele Primavera is very slow. Watch out. He is only on 3 wheels, and, Alex, I guess your team's not the only team that have tricycled around the circuit.
I mean, Musto are also pretty experienced on being on 3 wheels, I've got to be honest.
They are now.
Oh, God.
Well, hopefully for Daniele Primavera and
Well, those are
Musto.
2 teams that are used to being on 3 wheels that have ended up on 3 wheels here at this race today. And of course, good to see that they are still going. They're still only 4th in class, by the way, so they've still got plenty of time. They might not even actually drop out of the top of that far, actually, down in the order.
Yeah, well, hopefully for Daniele Primavera and Musto, they can make it back to the pit safely without incurring any more damage to the car or losing too many positions. And
Well, they're off at Arnage.
they just cannot turn.
Bonk into the barrier and turn it round on the reverse.
Yeah, it
Surely they'd have
reverses
more
to...
handling, reversing around the track at this point.
Well, it's a
Oh,
very
that's
tricky...
not great. No, I think the LMP2 at least knew they were going to be trying to rejoin that.
Well, Daniele is trying his best to get out of everyone's way and is doing a decent job of
It
it
would
so
probably be
far.
better to stay offline, I think, rather than actually on the racing line. He gets flashed from the LMP2 car behind.
The issue is he had to come across the racing line there. But because he ran wide out on Arch, and well, he's just trying his best to stay on the outside of the circuit at all points, I think.
Hopefully no one loses it coming through the Porsche curves, otherwise there will be an accident.
Yeah.
The McLaren's going through. That's not the 777 Nightmare car, because it's a McLaren for a start.
Primavera is down to P5 now, so...
GT leaders in the pits, by the way. Tom Capusta and Jose Berenguer in the pit lane. That's the 65 and the 51.
Slow car through Porsche curves, slow car through Porsche curves.
And if if any of you missed what has caused this accident, the replay is now on Twitter using the hashtag GDR24H, and you will see it.
Okay, so Danielle is able to just cut across the Porsche curve, so that definitely helps a lot. We see the Team Rookie Monsters LMP2 flying by, and that is Daniele Primavera. Has he lost another position there? No, that was a GTE car, I think, that went past, or a GT.
Yeah, that was actually the Telefor Hennigan car going by.
Is in the pits.
And don't forget, Telefor Hennigan had some connection issues or something. They had a DNF, so they've managed to get back out, and they're just trying to close in some of the laps. Gap at the front, still 32 and a bit seconds between Ibrahim Khan and Martin Hemmingson, so that's good. But Jone Simonchek, 1.7 behind Daniel Wisner. Or Weisner. Is it Wisner? Weisner?
Daniele Wisner. And, well,
Daniele Wisner.
We're being flashed by our handy assistant, or our intern, I'm going to call him from now on, as they laugh behind the scenes. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we hope that we're going to have this titanic fight for second place between the 117 and the 5 car. We'll see you in a moment.